Hey everybody, I just wanted to give a little bit of a weekly update. I see a lot of you have started working on the first activity and a couple of you are even done with it. And so I just wanted to share a little bit of my educator's portfolio a little bit and give you an example of kind of what I'm talking about. Um, and so this is sort of the public facing side of the educator's portfolio. You should, and I'm totally encouraged to keep your own personal, paper notebook or however you normally take notes while you're learning. But this side of things is more the outward side, and in really as we go is kind of the part you'll develop to connect with your audience or the community that you're trying to really engage with this coding program. So for me, I started just with a blog. You all might choose a class web page or a school newsletter or something like that. But for me, a blog is pretty easy. And the key thing of this is that it's public. So there's some pressure on myself to make it, presentable to the public, but it's just really one step above brainstorming. It's not some, finally published piece of work that I would want to, hinge my worldly reputation on or anything crazy like that. It's just getting it out there, getting some ideas out there in an organized form that has some accountability because people are going to see it. And so I use the blog as kind of that main platform for myself. And then I support it with YouTube. And so in that blog, I'm very visual, and I created a little system network. You'll have to read the blog to understand what I'm talking about it. And then to add to that with YouTube, I just did a little video description like this. It's quick and easy. I film it off Zoom, just to talk about it, right? Because writing and talking are two different things. So I created a little video on YouTube about that diagram, not the whole blog post, just the diagram specifically. And then lastly, on my Twitter page, I shared out both the blog and the video. And I'll just reiterate that the goal with these is not that they're, like I've specifically put them out in public in places that are not too public, right? It's not like I'm standing in the middle of a square yelling at people about what I'm talking about. It's more like the digital version of a quiet restaurant or cafe talking to somebody. You have to know your networks though. I know that nobody really follows me on Twitter or YouTube or my blog posts, so I know that's pretty safe. If you have a very public or a very family-oriented outlet, you want to think through where you put those things. Okay, so that's just kind of the educator's portfolio or the public side of that. And then in the next day or so, I'll be sharing with you all another guided activity for kind of envisioning what the end project or the end outcome of this year. So what it is we're trying to create in our schools with this program. And so we'll build on how we communicate with the world generally to help design that program that we want to create as part of the Alaska Coding Initiative. And we'll add into that the elements of how do your students and how does your community that you want to impact community communicate. And so we've looked very personally at our own practices, and then this next activity will look a little bit more peripherally at our audience's practices, and then we'll put it in together for a very first rough draft idea of what the end project we're trying to build here looks like. Okay, see you all soon.